Time to get back to work on this. It's gonna skip over a lot of this. I'm gonna give it a quick sand. Then I'm gonna do the metal prep for the POR 15 and then POR 15. I've showed that so many times in videos that I don't need to show it again. So once again, the metal prep, everything's done. POR 15 from when I used it the last time. Seal it with a plastic bag and it won't dry out and the lid won't be glued to the top. However, I can't find my small brushes. I might have used them all, so we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Just pour some on there and then brush her on, spread her around like that. Anyways, we don't need to film the brushing of the POR 15. There we are, gave her a quick coat. I'm going to give you this advice right now. If you've never used this stuff, make sure you wear gloves. You get it on your skin, you are going to wear it for a long time. I need to get a different style brush because it left little brush hairs in there. So I got a new paintbrush today. Picked up 4 of them for the rest of this project. And I said this before, and I'll say this again. Doing any work with POR 15, if you're just doing a little bit, buy the little 4-ounce cans that come in a 6-pack, and that's the way to do it. I bought a 6-pack, and this is the second can I'm cracking open, and I've already painted a lot. This 4 ounces goes a long ways, actually. I'm gonna get gloves on, get ready. I think it's time for a little rant. Haven't had a rant in a while, so yeah, let's get this flipped around and start ranting. So now to get started here, in the last video where we went out prospecting at our usual spot, brought Trevor along. You know, I spent the time to fix his pump, get his sluice going so he could go and have a good time. I've helped him out so many times throughout the years. Yeah, this past weekend when we were out, he disrespected me pretty bad, so this will probably be the first and the last time that he's gonna come out camping. One of the things I made clear when we went out camping is that you need to make your own arrangements for the shitter. Me, Dave, and Kevin each have our own shitter. And I said, whether or not you decide to take a crap in the woods, whatever, it's up to you, but you need to fucking have your own shitter. So he's like, yeah, don't worry, I got something, don't worry. So plan was we left last Friday. It's supposed to be around like noon, but it got delayed to like 1 o'clock because Kevin was busy, couldn't get out, and since we're camping on private property, kind of had to all travel there together because they've been having problems with people sneaking on their property and not respecting the land, so to speak. So anyways, Trevor was pretty excited, couldn't sleep the night before, you know. He was over at my house like 11:30 in the morning. I wasn't even ready to go, but he decided he was going to come over early, and I'm like, fuck. I said, I'm not even finished packing it, so you do what you're going to do, but I'm going to go inside the house and finish packing. And fucking, when I get ready to leave around 1 o'clock, we'll leave. And he wanted to leave like right away and just like, you know, let's just get out there. And I'm like, no, that's not the way it fucking works. But that's not part of the story. Anyways, we fucking get out there and set up camp, and you know, he starts kicking back the beers, which is fine. You know, his first time out. He hasn't been out in fucking years. I know the excitement, you know, just want to start fucking kicking back a few fucking drinks. I decided to crash early because I like to get up early in the morning, set up my sluice and start sluicing, because by like 10, 11 o'clock, well, that sun just starts beating down and you're pretty much fucking useless. I like to get out of the sun during the day and go back in the evening when it's cooler. Anyways, I'm in the back of my pickup truck. Just kind of kicking back before I crash, and Trevor decides that he's going to use my fucking shitter. After I told him that he has to make his own fucking arrangements. So he uses my shitter, then goes out and fucking starts talking to Kevin that he used my shitter, is making it out to be a big fucking joke, and you know, I'm gonna get a fucking surprise. Well, you know what, Trevor? you just gave yourself a big fucking surprise, because you know what? Big fuck you. I made that very fucking clear that you need to fucking find your own fucking arrangements. I was not fucking happy with him. I barely even spoke to him the next fucking day. If I had my way, I would have told him to fucking pack his shit up and fucking leave, you know? I didn't have to fix his pump. I didn't have to fucking invite him to come out and pull shit like that. Fuck you. So I left early Sunday, because I like to get on the road fucking early, and was on the road for like an hour, and then Kevin calls me, or texted me I should say, and Kevin's like, well, your friend Trevor, his Jeep won't start, you gotta come back. And I'm like, I ain't fucking coming back. I said, I've been on the road for a fucking hour. I said, he's gonna have to fucking figure out his own fucking way. Think I'm gonna fucking turn around and fucking help him out after the shit he fucking pulled? Fuck that. He eventually got his Jeep started and made it home, but I would have fucking left him there, to be honest. I mean, I like helping out people, but when you fucking burn me, fuck you. Eat shit and fucking die. Alright, let's try this stuff out. Bed armor, do it yourself. Supposed to hold it 10 to 15 inches away. You gotta be pretty liberal with this stuff. That's the only time I'm gonna say. I just got one coat on. I'm gonna let it sit for like 10 minutes and then we're gonna hit her again. Here I am, almost the end of fucking June. Gotta turn the furnace on, cause it's too freaking cold in the garage. But somehow fucking Climate Barbie, that stunt fucking cunt, says that it's warming so much, that's why I gotta turn the fucking furnace on June. Fuck you, you fucking stunt cunt. Alright, so we're gonna start prepping into Fender while I got this paint color match right here, Patriot Blue. Anyways, going on about the weather, what really pisses me off about that is that talk about, you know, how world's getting warmer and this and that, which is complete bullshit. Climate is defined as a period of weather over 30 years. Now, I've noticed the trend where I live in Alberta, it's not getting hotter. It's actually, winters are getting longer and they're getting colder. Today it snowed in the mountains, so now we already got snow in June. So I don't even think we're going to be 2 months snow free this whole year. So this is the part I'm just going to brush up quickly, paint it. The nut cert for the vacuum box strips, so I'm not gonna bother trying to extract that. I'll just paint around it because vacuum box is covered anyways. Also had a little gap there, so I put that seam sealer in there, and then when it hardens up, man, it's like hard like rock. So pretty impressed with that. Need to get this done because, you know, if I don't do it now, I'm gonna regret not doing it later. You know, prolongs the project a little bit, but in the end it'll look better. So going on about another rant, I posted to me, my current time, yesterday, my why you shouldn't use anti-seize on your wheels. And I said in the video, I said a lot of people aren't going to understand this. It's like pumps and pressure. And I was 100% right. I've come to the conclusion that 10% of the people in this world are critical thinkers, and the other 90% of the people are just put the bolt in the hole. So many people were talking about putting anti-seize on the threads. That is not what I'm talking about. And probably where they got that idea from is that when he started Googling clamping force, this video turns up where this guy's like doing clamping force. Well, if you torque a dry bolt, dry nut at this torque, you get this much clamping force. And if you use oil, you get this much clamping force with the same torque because the value goes up. And that's where I said a few seconds ago, critical thinking, because
people are commenting without fully understanding. And the reason why I say that, the clamping force is obviously going to be fucking higher if you torque it to the same spec when it's wet, because you're over torquing compared to the dry value. If you look at fucking torque specs, let's go for an example. If you have a dry torque and it's 100 foot-pounds, a wet torque is generally 30% less to achieve the same clamping force. Do you understand? Or do you need me to hold your fucking hand?
That being said, let's just Scotch-Brite this down a little bit. That way we get a little bit of a rough surface on there. Do I need to make a video on why you should rough up the paint? Because I don't know. A lot of people just don't seem to fucking understand anything these days. Everybody has a fucking computer at their fingertips, but don't know how to use it. There's a lot of misinformation on the interwebs as well. That's why I'm saying 10% of the people in this world have critical thinking skills. Other 90% just put the bolt in the fucking hole. Which one are you? That's what I want to know. Shaking the paint again. Wonder how well this is going to coat. What I love about these cans is the spray pattern in these spray cans is actually really impressive. I'm not worried about overspray on top of the fender because that is all going to get sanded and repainted at a later date. Let's just get this. Couple coats on this. Hit it with some clear. I think we'll be good. I'll spray inside there over top of the POR 15, but I don't think it's gonna make any difference. I've been shaking this clear for a while. Surprised there's no marble in it. Alright, I'm gonna assume there's no marble. So I'm just gonna spray the clear coat on. Spray it on. Spray, and then go over half of what you just sprayed. And that gives it a nice wet appearance. This is the relay tray. It's gonna Scotch-Brite it. I already sanded out some of the spots that were rusted. I'm just gonna hit this afterwards with rust paint, black rust paint. I'm not gonna spend the time to, clean her up. That's all taken care of. Tomorrow we'll come inside, bolt it up. So if you're still watching the video and butthurt from some of the comments I just made, that's okay. The feeling will pass. It's alright. You'll survive. Just gonna start putting that fender back on. Before I do, throw some anti-seize on all the bolts. If you know what kind of nightmare happened beforehand, trying to get these out. This will ensure down the road, if it ever has to come off again, we're not going to be suffering. All right, let the fun begin. Got just looking at that fender and the way it turned out, I think it turned out pretty good. It'll work for me. It'll look a lot better once sent down and rocker liner gets sprayed on it. It'll toughen her up a little bit. Battery tray was a little worse for wear, so yeah, and that's not spraying worth shit. All right, there we go. Nozzle just plugged up. Gonna hit this with the self-etching primer. And I don't know if I'm gonna paint it the same color as the Jeep or just rust paint it. I'm not too sure yet. Yeah. Start I think everything went up and over. That's the daytime running lights module. So I'm gonna let this hang down the side for right now because we need to start figuring all this out. The computer can definitely go back on, even though it's just gonna serve a slight small purpose now of monitoring some false information to make my dash work. So this one here is probably definitely this is the fun part, eh? When you haven't can't remember how the heck this went. Now you got to try to feed everything back around again. And this lone wire here at the battery tray will be for the battery temperature sensor, I believe it is. All this shit is just intertangled mess. Things that have been looped around other shit time and time again. Working around. I'll just weave it all around and try to sort out some rhyme or reason. These are the O2 sensor wires for the system in the dash. This is my vacuum line. This is the wiper. One thing I'm going to look at here is radiators for the LS swap are extremely expensive, so I want to see if I can make this one work and then see if I have any heating issues down the road. So let's measure. So we're about 1.266 roughly. Definitely a little bit bigger. This is like 1.342. I think I could probably make that work. And this one here is not exactly perfectly round. It's about 1.518. That's 1.6. Theoretically, with some brute force, I probably could make something work. Yeah, because I could definitely force one over top of there. And then this one here, it'll be a little tight. I'm not saying use these hoses, but get a custom radiator hose from Greenline in town that's got like a wire around inside of it so you can flex it without it collapsing. I think that's the way to go. It's looking like I got quite a bit of room yet. It's gonna set the radiator in place and have a look-see. I don't know where the bolts are right now, but I just want to set this in place. It's gonna be a pretty tight fit, but pretty sure I'll get an electric fan in there as well. I need to do something with this mess that's getting out of hand. Battery tray is painted. Who knows how long it'll last though. Well, it's starting to look a little bit better cleaned off the table. I think it's motherfucking beer time now. This would just be a short video. Next video, we need to start figuring out the transmission linkage and start doing the wiring on there, so that once we get the undercarriage buttoned up there, then I could put the intake and all that on. Then I just can't do it right now because if the engine tilts back with the intake on it, it may get damaged. So something to think about. Since there's been a lot of whining and complaining in this video, I think I'm gonna have a fucking Miller Ladies Light. Alright, motherfucking beer time, sort of, I guess. So I started shopping around for a four-door Jeep. There was a dealership north of town, well, not north of town, but north of me, called House of Cars, and they had a 2009 Rubicon with some aftermarket accessories like a lift kit and tires, winch, bumpers, all that crap. There's a manual, just what I was looking for. Rubicon's nice because it already has the lockers, but they're asking 16.8, and I said I'd like to entertain the idea of 14.5, taxes in, and if you guys will agree, I'll come up and have a look at it, and we'll get this deal done. So they came back and they counter offered at like 15.8, and then I'm like, no, 14.5 is where I'm gonna sit on this. And then they said on the conversation that you'll need a couple grand worth of work down the road, so to speak. So talking back and forth, they said the work that's needed is tie rods and differential work. So at that point in time, it's just like, no. I'm also looking at a 2008 Rubicon. Just kind of like testing the waters right now. Not saying I'm going to go out and buy one like right this instant. I'd like to get one once this project's like finished or almost finished. But for beer burp. But for right now, I'm just testing the waters. If I can get a good enough deal, I'll jump on it and snag it, and then we can get like the whole next process in line with that Cummins 4BT over there. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. Motherfucking beer time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and for the next little bit, I think we're gonna be doing some real work now. I'll talk to you guys later.